Hey guys, what's up? It's time to do a speed test comparison between the Samsung Galaxy A34 versus the last year Samsung Galaxy A33. And the A33 is powered by Samsung Exynos 1280 SoC with 8GB of RAM, while the new A34 5G is powered by MediaTek Dimensity 1080 SoC with 8GB of RAM. So on the back we have quad cameras on the A33 versus a triple cameras on the newer A34, and both phones has a 48 megapixel OIS main camera. Also we have 8 megapixel ultra wide with a 5 megapixel macro on both phones and a 5 megapixel depth sensor, and we have matte finish on both phones, and the frames on both phones also is made up of plastic. Both phones has an in-display fingerprint scanner. So on the bottom we have our USB-C. We have additional microphone on the A34. The microphone quality it is much better on the A34, and both phones also has a stereo speakers. We have IP67 water and dust resistance. So I am very excited to see that how is the Dimensity 1080 is gonna perform against the Samsung Exynos 1280. So without any wasting time, let's quickly boot both of these devices at the same time. So logo is came up first on the A33 5G. Both phones is running on latest Android 13 with Samsung One UI 5.1. A34 it is a much wider phone as compared to the A33. So let's see which one will faster when it comes to booting up. So the newer A34 is faster when it comes to booting up with their MediaTek Dimensity 1080, and A33 also right behind there. So we have 2 or 3 second difference between these devices when it comes to booting up. And now let's talk about the displays between these devices. And the Galaxy A34 has a 6.6 inch Full HD Plus Super AMOLED display with a 120Hz refresh rate, while the older A33 has a 6.4 inch Full HD Plus Super AMOLED display but with 90Hz refresh rate. Both phones has a U-shaped notch on the top, and the bottom chin it is much smaller on the Galaxy A34. So the A34 it is a more expensive phone as compared to the A33 here in Pakistan, but the display quality it is improved massively on the A34. So everything's closed up in the background, no application is running in the background. So now let's open phone dialer, basic stuff that is very similar. So next on the list is settings, that is also very similar. Now let's go to the display. On both phones we have 90Hz refresh rate versus a 120. Also the bezels on the A34 it is symmetrical. Now check out some more apps. Amazon shopping, and that one it is much faster on the A34. So now let's see scrolling, and that is feels really smooth on the A34. And now let's open this tab, and that is very similar. Scrolling again little more smoother on the Galaxy A34. So now check out some games application, and this here we should see a more difference between the Dimensity 1080 versus the Exynos 1280. Now let's see Candy Crush Saga. Faster on the A34, which is expected. Instagram faster on the A34. Pinout again much faster on the Galaxy A34. A34 is taking the lead in every single application, I would say. Snapchat slightly faster on the A34. Spotify, and that one also faster on the A34. Subway Surfer. So the Dimensity 1080 it is slightly faster this time. So here is the speakers on the A34 looks like with max volume. And here is the A33. And the speakers it is little more louder on the Galaxy A34. So the speakers also improve on the A34. And now let's see Temper and 2. And Temper and 2 also faster on the A34. As you can see, so in the Temper and 2 we have 2 second difference And now let's open this big game which is called as PUBG Mobile. MediaTek Dimensity 1080 versus Samsung Exynos 1280. So A34 is done, almost done, and A33 also done as well. So again we have 2-second difference. Also in that game we have smooth graphics with extreme frame rate on the A34 versus a smooth graphics with ultra frame rate. So the gaming performance also improve a lot on the A34 thanks to the new MediaTek Dimensity 1080. Twitter, it is little faster on the A34. And now let's open Zedge, and that one it is slightly faster on the A34. Now let's see the scrolling, and that is phase really smooth on both phones. 120 Hz is makes a difference obviously. So the 90 Hz on the A33 it is not really stable. This phone is perform all the time really smooth 120 Hz. So last time launching the cameras on both phones, default camera application. So that one faster, and that is very similar actually. And the camera setup it is exactly the same on both phones, and the cam performance it is improved on the Galaxy A34. So now look at the front facing camera. Both phones has a 13 megapixel selfie camera, and the selfie camera it looks better on the A34 as far as the colors and the sharpness are concerned. Okay guys, now let's see internet browsing speed. So I am using to for Samsung internet on both phones with same Wi-Fi network. So now let's open wikipedia.org, slightly faster on the A34. Scrolling wise, really smooth as you can see, no jitters, anything like that. And now let's open this English, also very similar, scrolling speed and smooth, really stable. Next on the list is the Galaxy Shop, and that one it is very similar on both phones, and scrolling feels absolutely smooth. And 90 Hz it is not all the time 90 Hz on the A33. Now let's see RAM management on both phones. We have 8 GB of RAM. Let's see how is the newer A34 is gonna perform in the RAM management. Phone dialer still there. Settings, Amazon shopping, and that got refresh on the A34. Candy Crush Saga, that is also refresh on the A34. Instagram refresh. Pinout refresh. So you can see RAM management looks really bad on the A34. Snapchat still there. Subway Surfer refresh again on the A34. Now let's see Temper and 2 refresh on PUBG, and that is still there in the memory. And now let's see Twitter, Zedge, and lastly back to the internet browser where we left, as you can see. And guys, what I have to say regarding the apps opening speed, as you can see that, and definitely on the Galaxy A34 with the Dimensity 1080, this phone is perform excellent, faster than the older Samsung Galaxy A33 in system-based applications as well as in games. Mostly in games we constantly see a 2-second difference between these devices. So in terms of the RAM wise in that area, and the Galaxy A33 is perform excellent in the RAM management, while on the A34 we have a lot of refresh. I hope the RAM management will improve with some software updates in the future. And both phones has a 5000 mAh battery size with a 25 watt fast charging support. Again, no charger in the box, which is a really disappointing thing. And that's it for me in this video. Thank you so much for watching this speed test comparison between the A34 versus the previous A33 5G. So do let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe to my channel for daily tech videos like this, and follow me on Instagram and Twitter as well. And I will see you in my next video. Peace out.